If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that bloodline, lineage, genealogy, whatever you want to call it, is not important to me when it comes to the character of Rey. From the jump, from the first teaser, from the first trailer, from the first viewing, I've A, hoped she wasn't related, B, was happy to discover she wasn't related, and C, thought the idea of Rey being a nobody was one of the more interesting directions and concepts in this trilogy. Greatness from nothing, strength from humble beginnings. That's the message that I get from this sequel trilogy. It's very true with a lot of our characters in this trilogy, and it's one of the things I like about this trilogy. They were filthy junk traders who sold you off for drinking money. They're dead in a pauper's grave in the Jakku desert. You have no place in this story. You come from nothing. You're nothing. But not to me. Chris Terrio, co-screenwriter of the Rise of Skywalker, was recently interviewed in Empire magazine. He said, quote, "How can Rey become the spiritual heir to the Jedi? We kept coming back to, who is Rey? And how can we give the most satisfying answer to that, not only factually, because obviously people are interested in whether there's more to be learned of Rey's story, but more importantly, who is she as a character? How will she find the courage and will and inner strength and power to carry on what she's inherited?" Close quote. So the Rise of Skywalker will address the question, who is Rey? I think a few people that I've seen might be taking the question a little more literal than intended. Terrio starts off the quote by talking about how she's the spiritual heir of the Jedi, and it ends by talking about who she is as a character, finding courage and strength to carry on. Do I think the question of lineage will be addressed in terms of her being related to someone that we already know? I don't. That's not what these films have been gearing up to. That's not the message of this trilogy, and honestly, to have her just be related to someone at this point, with how things have panned out and the direction things have gone, would be boring and uninventive to me. More likely, the question posed is about internal Rey rather than external Rey. Who is she as a character doesn't mean who are her parents, who are her relatives, what's her bloodline, whatever. Who she is as a character means who she is as a person, how she handles the hardships, how she powers through the struggles, how she fits into the story as an individual. Don't we all love individuality? Don't we all love a story in the real world about how people pick themselves up from nothing, become something, find success, and find a purpose? Those are always great stories. And this, to me, is no different. It's interesting. Don't you think? I do. Way more interesting than her just being a daughter of someone we already know, or being a clone from the Bleep Blorp Clone Batch 1286. Who are all these kids' parents? Anyway, who is Rey? It's a much deeper question than lineage. And hasn't Daisy Ridley had a few interviews where she talked about the character of Rey not being related and being a nobody, being the case from the very beginning of the sequel trilogy? Haven't we heard that? I don't know. HelloGreedo, out.